Hello and welcome to the calculator guide video on how the Casio Classwiz deals with a viral problem. You may have seen viral problems such as this circulating around social media, and part of the premise of these problems is that if you input into a calculator, different models of calculator were giving different answers. In the case of this particular one here, is the answer 9 or 1? And particularly older generation models of calculator, different ones would come up with different answers. And really it's all based on the ambiguity of the way in which the problem is written. So what I'm going to show you is what happens when you input this into the Classwiz. So if we input this carefully as it is written, press the equals, notice how the Classwiz has added an extra set of brackets or parentheses around the first two after the divide sign and then at the very end. And this is to try and eliminate the ambiguity around which these particular problems are created. Because the Classwiz wants to give you a definitive answer, it is interpreting this particular input as being 6 divided by, and then calculating everything within the brackets then. So 2 times 1 plus 2, that's 2 times 3, so it's 6 divided by 6, which is 1, which is why we've got the result of 1. And this is so that it isn't interpreted as 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and then 3 times 1 plus 2, which is 3 times 3, which gives you the 9. If you wanted to work that out, what you would need to do is to input the multiply sign after the 2 but before the brackets containing the 1 plus 2, and if you do that then you get the answer of 9, and the calculator is reading it as described there. Now you may be wondering, well, what actually is the answer to the problem as it is written? Well, really both answers are correct because of this ambiguity, and it's all about the intention of what you want to calculate. Do you want to calculate 6 divided by 2 times 1 plus 2, or 6 divided by 2 times 1 plus 2? And one of the things that can help you eliminate this ambiguity is by using the fraction button, changing it slightly depending on what your intention for the calculation is. So if I input 6 on the top of a fraction with 2 brackets 1 plus 2 on the bottom, essentially using the fraction button, the vinculum created by the fraction button as the divide, well then I get 1, because it's quite clear to the calculator that you intend to do 6 divided by and then everything on the bottom. To calculate the other variation as 6 over 2, the fraction 6 over 2, which is 3, and then times by 1 plus 2, and the calculator can deal with a multiply without having to put the multiply sign in. You just write the brackets and next to your fraction there, and the calculator is interpreted this as 9. So these type of problems are quite good for highlighting the sort of ambiguity that you get when you write single line calculations, particularly using the divide sign. It often becomes a lot clearer if you use the fraction button as to what you actually want to calculate. And so to address this problem, if you just do it as a line input, the Classwiz does add those extra brackets just to make sure that you're clear about what it's actually calculating. Why in the first example we got 1 when we had to change it slightly to include the multiply sign if we were intending to calculate the answer of 9. Okay, so hopefully that's clear as to what happens when you input these viral type problems into the Classwiz. And if you have any comments or questions about this, then feel free to comment below. But that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Calculator Guide.